Hello everyone, my name is Mukesh Kumar and today I will be walking you through some of the core concepts and features of Sailpoint IdentityNow. As we know, IdentityNow is a powerful platform for identity governance and administration that helps organizations manage access to resources while ensuring security and compliance. Today we will dive into some of the key elements of the platform ranging from architecture to data privacy. In this presentation, I'm going to cover the following core topics: SailPoint overview, architecture, virtual appliance, sources, entity profiles, access profiles, entitlements, roles, lifecycle state, provisioning, access request, certifications, password management, and data privacy. As we all know, SailPoint IdentityNow is a cloud-based identity access management platform that provides organizations with a centralized and unified view of all users, identities and their access and right across the entire IT ecosystem. This platform helps organizations effectively and efficiently manage user access to applications, data and systems and ensuring secure and compliant operations. Overview. As we all know, IdentityNow is cloud-based IAM solution that helps organizations manage and govern their digital identities. It provides single unified platform for handling user access, enhancing securities, and maintaining compliance across cloud and on-premises environment. Cloud icon which represents various cloud environments like Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, and SaaS applications. Identity now integrates seamlessly with these platforms, allowing organizations to manage access to cloud resources from single centralized location. Data center icon. This represents on-premises systems such as legacy applications and internal databases. Identity now can also integrate with these on-premises environments, allowing organizations to manage both cloud and on-premises identities together. There are five modules in Identity now. First one is access certification. This feature ensures that user access rights are regularly reviewed and validated against organization policies. It helps maintaining compliance by certifying who has access to what and ensures that only the right people have the right access. Second one is user provisioning. This automates the onboarding and offboarding of users, managing their access to applications and systems throughout the life cycle. This reduces the risk of unauthorized access and streamlines the management process. Third one is access request. With this, users can request access to applications or data through a self-service portal. This capability speeds up the access provisioning, reduces administrative overhead, and ensures that users get the access they need promptly. Next one is password management. This functionality simplifies password-relatable tasks by offering a self-service password reset feature. This reduces help desk costs and provides a better user experience while enhancing security through strong password policies. Last one is separations of duties. This feature ensures that critical tasks are divided among the multiple users to minimize the risk associated with fraud or unauthorized actions. It enforces checks and balances by preventing any single user from having too much control. Splitting tasks into multiple parts and requiring more than one person to complete them helps prevent fraud and keeps organization compliant. In this slide, we'll discuss about Identity Now architecture. Left side we have cloud hosted components. These are hosted in Sailpoint secure cloud environment and form the core of the IdentityNow platform. In the cloud-hosted components, we have UI, REST API, microservices. The user interface that administrator and users interact with entity governance tasks, such as access requests, certifications, and approvals. The UI is designed to be intuitive, making it easy for users to manage entities and access. The REST API provides programmatic access to entity functionalities. It allows organizations to integrate IdentityNow with other applications and automate entity management processes, providing flexibilities and extensibilities for developers. Microservices, these are the core backend services that handle specific tasks within the platform. Each microservices is independently deployable and scalable, ensuring high availability, fault tolerance, and rapid deployment of new features. Microservices manage operations such as access provisioning, certification, and policy management. Right side we have customer hosted components. These components reside within the customer's on-premises environment and are crucial for connecting IdentityNow with organization internal systems. In these we have virtual appliance, connectors, and applications. Virtual appliance acts as bridge between the cloud-hosted IdentityNow platform and the customer's on-premises environment. It securely facilitates communication between the cloud and internal systems, handling tasks like data synchronization, provisioning, and integration. Connectors are the integration points that link IdentityNow with various application directories and systems. Connectors are hosted within the customer environment to establish secure and real-time connections to applications such as Active Directory, SAP, or other enterprise systems. This allows IdentityNow to governance, access, and manage entities across different environments. Applications, the customer's internal applications and systems like HR systems, database, and ERP solutions are integrated through connectors. These applications are the target systems where access is managed and identities are governed, ensuring consistent policies and enforcement and security across the enterprise. In this slide, we're going to discuss about virtual appliance. IdentityNow uses virtual appliances to establish a secure and seamless communication channel between your organization's internal systems and the IdentityNow cloud platform. VA serves as a mediator that enables IdentityNow to interact with cloud applications as well as on-premises applications in your IT environment. In IdentityNow, the virtual appliance is a Linux-based virtual machine that plays a critical role in connecting your internal sources, cloud applications, and external sources to the IdentityNow platform. It uses Sailpoint's APIs, pre-built connectors, and deep integrations to securely communicate between your organization's IT environment and the IdentityNow cloud. The VA runs on Flatcar OS. It is a lightweight and secure operating systems optimized for containerized environments, ensuring scalability, security, and efficient operations while facilitating seamless data flows and entity management. VA clustering refers to multiple VAs working together in a cluster. Clustering helps improve redundancy, load balancing, and failover capabilities, ensuring that if one appliance fails, other in the cluster can take over. Multiple VA nodes are deployed across environments, all communicating with cloud services. Each VA in the cluster shares the same workload and contributes to overall system performance. ensuring reliability and scalability. VA communication flows. The VA is essential for facilitating data communication between your IdentityNow tenant and the source systems within your IT environment. Each VA regularly polls the cluster queue which resides in a IdentityNow tenant, searching for any new task. The cluster queue acts as a holding area where messages generated by scheduled activities or user actions. When a VA identifies a message, it downloads the task, decrypts it using its local private key, and communicates internally with the Cloud Connectors gateway to carry out the necessary operations. Each VA includes enterprise connectors developed by Sailpoint, which is tailored for the identity governance and administrative mapping. These connectors simplify the process of integrating with your network. When VA is installed in your environment, its network connectivity is confirmed to link to various sources. SailPoint's connector handles the connection from there. After the task is completed, the status and the results are sent back to Entity Now tenant via the task processing engine. SailPoint Identity handles integration with different sources of data, particularly focusing on managing user identities and personal records across both cloud and on-premises systems. VA, which acts as the key communication bridge between SailPoint Identity and the various sources of data. The VA is responsible for securely managing the data flow between SailPoint and external sources. The VA handles all the data flow between these systems. It pulls user identities and personal records from both cloud and on-premises sources, and then sends this data securely to the SailPoint cloud for processing. This integration helps automate processes such as provisioning, deprovisioning, access management, and all while ensuring compliance with governance policies. Identity profile. SailPoint IdentityNow, which is a centralized collection of identity attributes sourced from various applications. Source definitions refers to the system's applications from where identity data originated. For example, HRMS and Active Directory. Schema refers to the structured format of data. It defines the attributes such as fields that are included in the data coming from source systems. This schema consists of important identity attributes like account ID, account name, and other details. Identity profile shows the creation of a profile by aggregating the attributes sourced from different systems based on schema. The account ID serves as a unique identifier that links an individual to multiple systems, ensuring that their access and roles are synchronized across the organization. Meanwhile, the account name represents the user-friendly name used to display the individual's identity in various interfaces. Once identity profile is created, it linked to an individual's identity which contain specific attributes, roles, and permissions related to that person in the organization. Account IDs and account names are essential because they help unique identify the user in multiple systems. For example, an account ID may stay consistent across platforms even if a name changes, ensuring accurate identity management and preventing mismatches. Mapping identity attributes. This slide goes deeper into how specific identity attributes from a source systems such as HRMS are mapped into the identity profile. This shown the fields from HRMS systems like first name, last name, email, and country. These are crucial identity attributes. This diagram maps these attributes to identity profile. For example, first name from HRMS given name. Once these are mapped, the identity profile becomes complete, and the system can use this for lifecycle management, access provisioning, and more. To ensure that each entity is uniquely identifiable across all systems, the platform uses UUID. This UUID is universally unique identifier. It acts as a system-generated unique identifier that guarantees there are no conflicts between users who may have the same names or other shared attributes. Aggregation is the process of gathering user account data or entitlements from the various sources systems and loading it into IdentityNow database. It helps in keeping the identity management systems updated with the latest information on users' access rights and permissions. It starts from source data, where the user data originated, such as from HRMS and ActiveDirect. The schema defines the structure and format of data coming from sources. It ensures the data consistency when it's being processed by IdentityNow. After the data is extracted and structured by the schema, each user's data is considered an account. This represents their identity and access rights in a specific system. After this, the user account attributes such as name, email, role from the source systems are mapped to corresponding fields in IdentityNow's identity profile. After the mapping is completed, the user's identity is created or updated in IdentityNow. This identity aggregates all the accounts information from different sources to create a unified identity profile. What is access profile? It is a bundle of permission or entitlements assigned to a user or a group of users. It defines what application systems or resources a user can access. Access profiles are a collection of entitlements that represents related access from a single source. Entitlements refers to the specific permissions or privileges that a user has a particularly system or application. They are the detailed permissions within the access profile. A role defines a user's job function or department within the organization, like HR, IT, and finance. Roles are used to determine the appropriate access profiles and entitlements for that user. Remember, access profile only contains entitlements for a single source, but we can add multiple access profiles to a role in the in those access profile may relate to different sources. Provisioning. It is the process of creating, updating, or removing user accounts, entitlements, and access rights in the systems and applications. It automates the assignment of permissions based on user role or changes in the organization. There are several ways provisioning event can be generated. Password changes, certification, access request, role, life cycle state. Password changes refers to the automated process of updating or changing user passwords. When a password change is triggered, provisioning ensures that the change is reflected across all connected systems and applications, maintaining security and reducing potential vulnerabilities. Certification involves reviewing and validating user access periodically to ensure it complies with organizational policies and regulatory requirements. During certification, user access is either approved or revoked or updated based on current roles or needs. Access request process allows user or administrator to request access to systems or applications. Provisioning fulfills these requests automatically, granting access once the requirement approvals are completed. Roles are predefined sets of permissions or entitlements assigned to user based on their job functions. Provisioning automatically assigns or removes access to systems based on role changes. A user's lifecycle state, onboarding, active or offboarding, determine what access they should have. Provisioning ensures that access is automatically adjusted as the user moves through different stages of lifecycle state. Access request. Access request is a formal process where user requests access to specific systems, applications, or data resources within an organization. This is this is often necessary to perform their job functions or to obtain new roles and responsibilities. There are two types of requests. One is request for others and request for self. Request for other option allows a manager or another authorized individual to request access for someone else, for example, subordinates. Request for self. Here, a user requests access for themselves to perform tasks or get access to systems they need. Request approval. Once the request is made either for self or others, it enters an approval workflow. The request approval step involves reviewing the request to ensure it valid. This typically requires the approval or of a manager, compliance team, or application owner depending on the company's policies. The approval ensures that only authorized individual can gain access to the necessary resources. Provisioning fulfillment. After the request is approved, the system moves to provisioning fulfillment stage. It refers to the actual assignment of requested access or entitlements in the target systems such as servers, database, and applications. For instance, access to financial systems or a payroll database. At this stage, the system automatically creates or modifies user accounts and grants the request permission based on the approved access profile. Provisioning ensures that user and can access these systems once their access request is approved. Access certification. It is a process within Sailpoint IdentityNow ensuring that user access rights are reviewed and compliant with company's policies. Certification parameters. Administrators define the specific parameters for the certification process, such as which users or systems need to be reviewed. Certification parameters are generation, preview, active, and in the generation, entity now generates the certification based on the parameter set. The speed of this step depends on the amount of data and complexity of the certification criteria. In the preview, administrators review the generator certification list to ensure accuracy. They can cancel, start, or reassign certification during this step. In the activation active step, the certifiers, those responsible for reviewing the access, make decisions such as approving, rejecting, or reassigning the access rights. And in the end, the certification process ends once the due date is reached or the administrator completes it. Any remediation steps such as revoking access are taken automatically. This structured process ensures that only authorized personnel have the right access, which enhances security and helps maintain compliance with regulatory requirements. Password management. Identity now simplifies password management by allowing users to reset their passwords securely through the self-service feature. The password target on the far right refers to external systems or applications where password changes are synchronized. Identity now in the cloud centralizes these password-related processes and manages the communication between users, applications, and systems. VA acts as a bridge between the cloud and on-premises systems, ensuring passwords are updated across the environment. These capabilities improve users' experience by minimizing the help desk calls and enforcing the strong password policies while ensuring security and compliance. State. In this life cycle state, we have four states: joiner, mover, leaver, and rehire. In the first state, onboarding process when a new user joins the organization. During this state, Identity now automates the creation of user accounts and assigns the appropriate access based on the user role and department. This ensures that new employees are productive from day one with access to all the tools and resources they need. The system allow enforces system policies, security policies, and compliance requirements to minimize any potential risk during the onboarding process. Next state is mover. This handles roles changes when a user job responsibilities evolve. This could occur due to a promotion, department change, or shift in the job function. In the mover state, Sailpoint Identity now automatically adjusts the user's access rights to match their new role. This involves revoking access that is no longer needed and provisioning new access as required, thereby ensuring that users have the correct level of access for their correct role. In the leaver state, it critically managing security risk associated with employees leaving the organization. In this state, Entity now automates the deprovisioning of all user revoking permissions and disabling accounts. This process is crucial for ensuring that former employees no longer have access to any sensitive systems or data or applications, which helps to mitigate the risk of data breaches and maintain a secure environment. Lastly, the rehire state comes into play when a former employee is rehired by organization. In this scenario, Entity now can quickly re-enable the user's account and restore access based on their previous role or new role, depending on the requirement. This reduces the time and effort needed to onboard rehires and ensures that they are back up to speed efficiently. In today's world, ensuring the privacy and security of the personal data is essential for organizations. SailPoint Identity now helps organizations to manage users' identity while stick to the global global data privacy regulations and standards. Let's take a look in three key data privacy regulations. First one is internationally recognized standards for information systems management system. It outlines how organizations should implement, monitor, and continuously improve security controls to protect data. GDPR is a regulation in European Union that governs how organizations must handle personal data. It requires companies to obtain consent before collecting the personal information, providing individuals with right over their data, like access and deletion, and imposes strict penalties for non-compliance. Sailpoint helps organizations to manage user consent and data access in the line with GDPR. CCPA is the state law in California that strengthens privacy rights for California residents. It gives individuals more control over their personal information, including the right to know what data is collected, and the right to request deletion of data, and the right to opt out for its sales. Thank you.